Part 2 of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. The international leg is done. We're now in Germany all the way to the end of the season. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a very hot and sunny Lausitzring. We are in Klettwitz in the state of Brandenburg in East Germany. We're about 100 kilometers south of Berlin, about 63 kilometers from Dresden. The air temperature is knocking on the door of 30 degrees centigrade and rising by the minute. The track is also heating up, 36 degrees centigrade, and we are getting ready to commence part 2 of a fantastic season, the 37th season of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. The last time we all gathered together was 4 weeks ago on the Dutch circuit of Zandvoort. We've now traveled 785 kilometers east across Europe to the Lausitzring, but the headlines are still very much the same. Flint Schering continues his charge towards the top of the championship. Who can stop this man? The last time out, it was Alex Tauscher who took his first win of the season and continued his run of consistency. But Flint Schering, after a dreadful start to the season, took a win last time at Zandvoort as well, his 4th of the season. The other of the Porsche juniors, Marcus Armand, along with Flint Schering, both of them Porsche juniors for this year. Marcus Armand has unbelievably only had 1 win this year so far at the Red Bull Ring because he's shown so much pace. But another headline stealer, Chester Kiefer, continues to impress. He has won 6 of the 8 rookie races that we've had so far this year, and a stonking qualifying again yesterday afternoon. Saw him qualifying in third place on the grid, outpacing so many established stars, including the 2 times and outgoing Porsche Carrera Cup Italia champion Keegan Masters. The driver who has been flirting with the top of the championship throughout the season, but nobody has been able to get in front of Alex Tauscher up until now. But he's got his work cut out. He's starting a bit further back on the grid. And his 13-point lead in that championship ahead of Flint Schering is going to take a bit of defending, especially with Flint Schering starting from pole position. Theo Overhaus also on a high after that win in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup at Monaco. What an emotional race that was. He leads the Mobil 1 Super Cup Championship. He did lead the championship here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland for a while. He's in 3rd at the moment, and he's only 14 points adrift. But the question remains, who can catch the Schumacher CLRT cars? Both of them, one in the hands of Flint Schering, the other in the hands of Chester Kiefer, have been so rapid, and that continued throughout qualifying. It is the 9th pole position of Flint Schering's career in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Out of 41 starts, that's a pretty good return rate, as is 8 wins from those 41 starts. Will he make it 9 wins? Well, he's had 4 pole positions and 4 wins. He said, yeah, 4 pole positions and 4 wins this season so far, and looking to add to that. But there are plenty of talented drivers further back on the grid, none more so than Matheus Ferreira, the Brazilian, still looking for that elusive first win. He's had a podium. He got a 3rd place at Spa-Francorchamps back in May, but would dearly love to stand on the top step of the podium. There are so many stories, so many headlines, plenty to talk about, but Flint Schering leads the cars away on the formation lap here at the Lausitzring, a circuit that has 12 turns, 7 to the left, 5 to the right, a little under 3.5 kilometers around. Unusually, we're running in an anti-clockwise direction, and this track is pretty bumpy with low grit and some very, very challenging conditions for the drivers. It is Flint Schering, Marcus Armand. It's a Porsche Junior front row of the grid for this race 9 of the season. Chester Kiefer, the leading rookie, has Keegan Masters for company on row 2. Then championship leader Alex Tauscher, 3rd in the championship, Theo Overhaus, an all-German row 3 of the grid. Matheus Ferreira has Sam Yongyan alongside him. Sam still recovering from illness, but making good progress. Joe Waterhurst from the UK starts in 9th place with Daniel Rose alongside him on row 5 of the grid. Then Dylan Yip has Nick Hofer company, and they occupy row 6. Row 7, Dirk Schouten and Gustav Bergström line up alongside each other. Then on row 8, from Australia, Caleb Sumich has Gianluca Tucharoglu in one of Timo Bernhard's Team 75 Bernhard cars. Jonas Greif, local driver just down the road from Dresden, is alongside Max Muchlechner, who's enjoying his time here at the Lausitzring. Louis Perrault and Sebastian Freimer line up. Next then is Wouter Boerkamps, and we welcome Alex Sawyer here as a substitute for Sam Shaheen, who's watching from Australia. Niels Langeveld and Montego Masson line up on row 12 of the grid. Then it's the pole sitter for the Pro-Am, Søren Spreng. He has Alexandra Vatova, one of the talent pool drivers, alongside him. Ahmed Al-Shihab, all the way from Q8, has Mikael Esman alongside him. And then with a grid penalty added to a fairly miserable qualifying as well, Gus Burton with it all to do from the very back of the pack. It's all set fair for an exciting race. It is a bumpy and challenging circuit. Drivers tend to either love it or hate it. I spoke to Max Muchlechner about it this morning. He said this circuit has a certain charm about it and he really enjoys it. Other drivers find the bumps and the different kind of styles of driving on it a little bit challenging. I say different styles of driving. You can see that we're using part of the tri-oval, this circuit that was built back in August 2000. That's when it opened, originally for the IndyCar race, and the big tri-oval. We're using quite a lot of that tri-oval as well as the fairly windy infield section, but there are a lot of cracks and a few weeds in the pavement as well. It makes for challenging conditions and it makes for a lot of entertainment. It's the first time we've been back here at the Lausitzring for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland since 2023. The last time out, it was Luke Hartog and Bastian Boos who took the honours. Going to be two new names this time as we get ready for part 2 of the season. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, part 2. We are go. And off the line, Flint Schering, Marcus Armand going wheel to wheel. Armand pulling up alongside. This is a tight left-hander into turn 1. Flint Schering sweeping around the outside. It looks as though everybody else has got away, but Marcus Armand challenging for the lead into turn 2 with a nose in front. And it's Marcus Armand who takes the lead of the race from Flint Schering at the moment. Everybody else filing through. There's plumes of dust rising into the air, but it's Armand who takes the lead of the race. Now Flint Schering with the sister car with Chester Kiefer at the wheel, challenging him for position as well. Schering now shuts the door into second place, but everybody having to tiptoe around a tricky first lap. That first corner, always a pinch point, always challenging, but everybody's made it. We now need to get around the rest of this lap. But Marcus Armand, having jumped the Porsche Junior, his fellow Porsche Junior, around turn 2, and that's somebody. Was that Louis Perrault getting a little bit wild out of the corner? The dust clears, everybody still survives, but Armand now coming under pressure already from Flint Schering, and that's Sebastian Freimer pointing in the wrong direction. He's managed to avoid being collected. He spins the car around, but he will be stone last now. He'll have to rejoin, and a lot of hard work to come for him in this race this morning. Right, out of the tri-oval, we come along to the pit straight. It's a really wide section of circuit, but it all funnels down into turn 1. Flint Schering starting to look impatient already. The race, 30 minutes plus 1 lap. Alex Tauscher in the colours of Jack Young. That's the car that I believe Jack Young was using in Super Cup, challenging for position. So unusual colours, but the same story for Alex Tauscher, pushing forwards as much as he can. Sam Yongyan's made a good start. He's up to 6th place, just ahead of him. Tauscher had dropped down to 7th place at the start of the race. Look how close they're getting to the concrete wall here at the Lausitzring. The car's rubbing up nice and close to those very solid barriers. And then around towards turn 7, we come in towards turn 8. Once again, everybody settling down. Let's have a look at the start here. It was a good getaway from Flint Schering. It was an excellent getaway from Marcus Armand. He had a nose into the gap heading in towards turn 1. This is the view from the outside second row. And away we went in towards turn 1. That was from the perspective of Keegan Masters. And then looking out on that outside, and it's a downhill part into turn one. It's always tricky, and that was where Marcus Armand, he got his nose to the inside into turn one, was able to make it stick, and was able then to muscle through. This is a view from up above. Right, false start under investigation. Significant names there, including third place Chester Kiefer, also Nick Ho and Gus Burton. So under investigation for a false start, potentially moving before the lights went out. So we'll keep one eye on that, but there may well be penalties incoming if the stewards believe that anybody jumped the start. You can see how rough it was in the middle of the pack with the cars all jostling for positions, and that was the moment that Sebastian Freimuth was kicked out of the pack and left pointing in the wrong direction. There he is in the middle of the pack there. Louis Perrault was creating a little dust storm just ahead of him. And there is Ahmed Al-Shihad for the Pro-Am, so he too has had something of a moment. So he drops down to last but one at the moment. He's able to rejoin, but has he got damage on that car? Ahmed Al-Shihad, who was late starting in the season. Right, what happened here? We're on board with him. Whether he got a helping hand from behind or not remains to be seen. Is Alexandra Vatova up ahead? I don't think there was anybody that close behind him, so maybe he's just getting caught out with some of the bumps on this circuit. There's a Dutch battle going on there. Niels Langeveld and Wouter Burkamp. So Wouter was thoroughly disappointed with his qualifying here. He's down in 23rd place at the moment, and Niels Langeveld has got in front of him. So Langeveld making progress, he too, a little bit further back than maybe we've come to expect from the Dutch driver. Looking down on the perspective of the pit straight once again, Burkamp's having a look to the outside. In the background there is Gus Burton, Louis Perrault there, both of the drivers of the Fork Racing by Atlas Ward cars, feeling like they had a good setup but not really having the pace to challenge the front runners in quali. And Louis Perrault giving the sister car a bit of a helping hand out through the corner. That was where Niels Langeveld, did he make slight contact with the 77 car? But Perrault getting a nose in front of Gus Burton. Burton coming back at him, but onto the dirt as well. Every last place counting here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, and Perrault with the back end hanging out as well. This is how hard they're pushing at this circuit. And in this heat, trying to look after the tyres. Really, really tricky conditions for some of these drivers. Temperatures in the cars in the mid to high 60 degrees, and there was Gus Burton locking up under braking, driving so hard to try and maintain his position. At the moment, he's showing down in 23rd place, so out of the points, and he will not be happy about that. So if things remain as they are now, you can see from our live predictions, Alex Tauscher will still lead the points championship, but that gap will be down from 13 to 3 points. Tauscher currently in 6th place with Theo Overhaus just ahead of him. Marcus Armand leads the way. Flint Schuring has dropped back a little now and back into the clutches of Chester Kiefer. Remember, there is an investigation underway that does involve Chester Kiefer relating to the start of this race, but Kiefer will be focused on the sister car in front of him. They're good friends, they work together as a team, but out on the track they want to beat each other. Chester Kiefer has become something of a sensation in 2026. He's arrived on the scene very much, we thought, as someone who'd take a little while to get up to speed. No such issues for last year's Porsche Carrera Cup France rookie champion. He has been instantly on the pace and showing a clean pair of heels to many of the more experienced runners around him. And in 3rd place at the moment, leading for the rookies. And a penalty lap though, so a false start has been awarded to Chester Kiefer. So he is going to have to pass through the penalty box. This is going to steal away that podium position that he is in at the moment. It was looking like it was going to be a 3rd place for his at the moment. He's only had one overall podium here, and that was at Zandvoort last time out. But he's going to have to drive through the penalty box. It's located on the exit of turn 5, and he'll have to pass through that at 60 kilometers an hour. That will be the equivalent of adding about 5 seconds onto his lap time. It means that Keegan Masters is going to get promoted into a podium position. That'll be more points for Keegan as he looks to regain his ground right there. through the penalty box he goes. That's a great angle. You can see Chester having to get down to speed. He can see all of his competitors rushing past him. Now back up to speed. He joins behind Sam Yongyan, so that'll be in 7th place. So from 3rd to 7th, that penalty, that jump start has cost Chester Kiefer, the driver from Luxembourg. It's cost him 4 places. So he's back up to speed, but he's got a lot of work to do now, and suddenly a podium is starting to look like a bit of a stretch. Keegan Masters moves up into that podium position, so that will be valuable points for him as he looks to close back in on the championship leaders. Flint Schuring remains in 2nd place. Our championship leader, Alex Tauscher, is up to 6th as a result of that penalty for Chester Kiefer. Kiefer now behind Sam Yongyan, both drivers in the Porsche talent pool. The wonderful system, the wonderful thing from Porsche, where the drivers are coached and mentored by Wolf Hensler, the ex-driver for Porsche, ex-championship winning driver who tutors these drivers and teaches them. And Wolf Hensler gives them so much coaching, but the talent pool drivers also get coaching in all sorts of other things, dealing with the media, health, mental coaching. Last night, the talent pool even had etiquette training, how to eat at the dinner table. I joined them. I got told off twice for putting my elbows on the table, but that is another story. So Marcus Aman leads the way, 1.2 seconds clear. We just saw in the background Gianluca Tucciaroglu challenging Daniel Rose for 12th place. Tucciaroglu, who has shown a lot of pace in the number 91 car, but hasn't really had the results that reflect that pace. The other of the Team 75 Bernhard cars with Sam Yongyan at the wheel. Currently in 6th place, Chester Kiefer. We know how quick the Schumacher CLRT car is. He is looking impatient to get past the 6th place car. Matheus Ferreira in the background there. The Brazilian would also dearly love to get back onto the podium. Chester, who stood on the podium at Monaco a couple of weeks ago in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup in the Rookie Championship. And Tucciaroglu has been instructed to fall back behind Nick Ho. So Tucciaroglu had made it up to 13th place. Nick Ho is in 15th. So Tucciaroglu is going to have to back out of it and fall back behind, as now Chester Kiefer goes side by side with Sam Yongyan, steals that away with relative ease, but Yongyan's coming back on the inside. We know how good Sam Yongyan is. He never gives up, but now Matheus Ferreira fancies getting involved in this battle as well. It's the fight for 6th place. You can see how hard Yongyan is having to fight that car. Kiefer is through, but now Yongyan is defending hard from Matheus Ferreira, another of the talent pool drivers. All 3 of these drivers in the talent pool. Behind them, another talent pool driver in the shape of Joe Warhurst. He's in 9th place at the moment, was a bit frustrated with his performance in quali yesterday, but showing good pace here in the race, now challenging Matheus Ferreira up ahead of him. Dirk Schouten in the background. Also Caleb Sumich from Australia in the background as well in 11th place. So this could go in any direction here in race 9 of the season. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Marcus Aman leading. Flint Schuring, Keegan Masters, Theo Overhaus, Alex Tauscher. And then this battle here, Yongyan, Kiefer, Ferreira, Warhurst, Schouten, Sumich, all lined up, trying to attack each other for that 6th place. Aman looks to have the measure of Flint Schuring at the moment, but watch out, here comes Chester Kiefer, but Sam Yongyan's got back at him. So Kiefer, having had that big gap in front, suddenly Yongyan's come back at him. Oh, and that is why, because race control got involved, and Kiefer was instructed to fall back behind Sam Yongyan for incorrect overtaking. So that's 2 cars that have received penalties from the stewards involving incorrect overtaking. Both Gianluca Tucciaroglu and now Chester Kiefer. So Kiefer's going to have to do it all again to get past Sam Yongyan. So Yongyan back up into that 6th place. And Kiefer with all the hard work to do again. At the moment, Kiefer is the leader in the Rookie Championship. In Sam Yongyan, it's a car that is stationary out on track. That's Gustav Bergstrom. Now, where is that out on the track? Is it out of the way? Yes, it is. So we're not going to need a safety car because it's well off the racetrack. But Gustav Bergstrom has come to a stop out on the track in the sunshine here. While we're looking at that, I was about to mention that Kiefer leads the championship for the rookies. Sam Yongyan, just behind him, is very much in the hunt for the Rookie Championship title. He is second in the rookies as well. Well, this is what happened to Gustav Bergstrom. We haven't mentioned the 36 car yet. That has been driven by Alex Sawyer. And it's good to see him here. I don't know whether there was any contact or whether Bergstrom had an issue mechanically with the car. But Alex Sawyer, the Vietnamese racing driver, also in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, currently 7th in their championship, is a substitute driver for Sam Shaheen. Sam, who is currently at his track at The Bend in Australia. They just got the World Superbike Championship for 2028 under the belt. So that is why he's there looking at the launch of that. But look at this challenge continuing for 6th place. So Sam Yongyan at the moment in that 6th. Then it's 7th for Chester Kiefer. The orange, white and red car. Mathieu Ferreira closes in on Chester Kiefer. Now, has Kiefer taken too much out of the rubber? The Michelin tyres do need to last the entire race, and to the inside goes Mathieu Ferreira, following on his heels Joe Warhurst. So Warhurst also putting the pressure onto Chester Kiefer. Kiefer able to come back. Great views from our drone there, but Kiefer looks to be struggling and he peels off. So Chester Kiefer into the pits. Has he got a flat tyre? I think he might have a puncture. That would explain why he suddenly lost all that pace. So Kiefer peels off into the pits. That releases Sam Yongyan from all the pressure. There's Alex Tauscher a couple of laps ago who got a little bit wild and leery coming out of the corner. He's up to 5th place at the moment. Theo Overhaus in the red and white car just ahead of him. They are 4th and 5th, and just behind Sam Yongyan would have been greeted by a sandstorm. Right, into the pits comes Chester Kiefer. The Schumacher CLRT team will get to work on it, but any chance, and the wheels spinning there, and not entirely sure what has occurred there, but looks like, yeah, there has been a issue with it doesn't look like he's got a puncture, but the team having a look under the wheel arch and putting another tyre on, but certainly any chance of any meaningful points for Chester Kiefer are gone for this race. That is a gift for Sam Yongyan, who now leads for the rookies. Second in the rookies is Caleb Sumich in 10th overall. Then it'll be Dylan Yip who will be next in the rookies. Finally, they've sorted out the issue with that tyre. Kiefer is back into the pit lane, but he'll be very frustrated because he will be right at the very back of the pack. Meanwhile, we haven't even mentioned the Pro-Ams yet. Søren Spreng in 23rd place leads the way. Mikael Eschmann is second in the Pro-Ams in 25th overall, and Ahmed Al-Shihab is 3rd in the Pro-Ams. And it was an incident between Gustav Bergstrom and Alex Sawyer that appeared to be responsible for Bergstrom retiring from the race. So Alex Sawyer, great to have him here. We've seen him for a few years in single-seater racing. He is the 2025 Southeast Asia champion in Formula 4. And now trying his hand at Porsche racing. We've also seen him in Freca as well. And a very welcome addition here, but in controversy in the number 36 car. He's up in 16th place at the moment. I was briefly mentioning he's substituting for Sam Shaheen, who will be watching from Australia. We look forward to seeing Sam back again soon. But it's really nice to have Alex Sawyer on the grid and getting involved in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Right, where are we? 13 and a half minutes just coming up, remaining on the clock. Our race leader, Marcus Armand, is about 1.759 now. He's just gone up to 2 seconds clear of Flint Schuring. So Schuring with scorching pace in quali, but now down to 2nd place. Keegan Masters is about 9/10 behind Flint Schuring, so close enough if Schuring makes any kind of mistake, but maybe not quite close enough to challenge at the moment. Then there's a 3-second gap back to Theo Overhaus, then championship leader Alex Tauscher, who is, well, last time around was 6/10 behind Theo Overhaus, but looked to be closing in on him by my reckoning. Still waiting for him to come across the line. He's taken about a 10th out of Theo Overhaus's 4th place. So Tauscher potentially not done yet. Here's Daniel Roos in the 88 car coming towards us. That's 11th. Gianluca Tucciaroglu, then Dylan Yip, Nick Ho, Max Mutschlechner in there as well. Then Alex Sawyer, Jonas Greif, the driver who comes from Dresden, just down the road in 17th place. Wouter Borekamps and Gus Burton, both of them will be frustrated back in 18th and 19th place respectively. Joe Warhurst doing a sterling job in 8th place behind Matheus Ferreira. Here comes Sam Yongyan, just through your picture there. So the car's just spacing out a bit with 12 1/4 minutes remaining. So still plenty to go and lots of excitement. If things finish as they are now, it will be a maximum 25 points going the way of Marcus Armand, and that will put him well up in the championship hunt. And Alex Sawyer's debut in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland has taken a downward turn because he has received 2 penalty laps for causing a collision, the one that took Gustav Bergstrom out of the race. So he will have to visit the penalty box twice, which is very bad news and will drop him towards the back. It's a real shame because he had been making some pretty good progress. And I really hope that, well, we're going to see him again tomorrow. I hope we'll see him again soon. Gianluca Tucciaroglu and Dylan Yip. Tucciaroglu, who has proven that he doesn't really back off for anybody, on the inside of Dylan Yip, and he steals that position away with relative ease on the exit of turn 12. This is what it looked like from his perspective in the Team 75 Bernhard car. He saw that gap on the inside. Dylan Yip didn't really have much he could offer there. The driver from Hong Kong fighting back on the outside, but Gianluca Tucciaroglu had that racing line, had the momentum, and he goes sailing through into 12th place. Now look at this, Flint Schuring starting to look a little bit vulnerable to Keegan Masters. So that's our predicted points standings if things finish as they are now. Schuring would be 4 points behind Alex Tauscher. I should think in the background, Tauscher will be cheering on Keegan Masters like nobody's business because if Masters could get past Flint Schuring, that would make that gap a little bit bigger between Flint Schuring and Alex Tauscher in the points championships. We've got another race tomorrow, and spoiler alert, Flint Schuring may well be starting from pole position, well ahead of Alex Tauscher again. So Tauscher really looking to get everything he can thrown against Flint Schuring to try and protect that championship lead. So Armand has checked out, looking for his 2nd win ever and his 2nd win of the season in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. It will project him up in the championship, and Marcus has already made it quite clear that he's not going to be doing a full season in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He's the championship leader in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia and has decided that that will be his main focal point, and he's just doing the German series whenever he can. He's done every round so far, but I think he might be missing a couple of rounds as this season progresses. But he's still in the championship hunt. Maybe we can persuade him to do all of the rounds. Who knows? He's leading at the moment, 2.4 clear of Flint Schuring, who is about half a second clear of Keegan Masters. Then Theo Overhaus. Then Alex Tauscher rounding out the top 5. Then it's Sam Yongyan, our leading rookie. Matheus Ferreira, Joe Warhurst in 8th place. Dirk Schuten in 9th place. Dirk, a relatively quiet race by his standards with the very vocal Flan Club. He's the 2024 Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux champion and has a massive following online, and they will all be cheering him. And then the Australian Caleb Sumich in 10th place, and 2nd in the rookies. And Caleb, who resides in Europe for the race season, has a place in Austria, very much living the dream, doing Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, also Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. And for him and for many of the drivers, it is a first time ever to this circuit. For Caleb, it's a first time to every one of the circuits he's going to this year. As an Australian, he's learning the tracks as he gets to them. There's Chester Kiefer all the way down in 26th place. Points scoring in the overall championship looks to be gone, which is a real shame, but he's fighting his way back. But with 8 1/4 minutes remaining, you can see there that the gap is fairly sizable. So he's down in 26th place and he's lapping very, very quickly. Some very fast laps, a last time around, looking for his lap time, still waiting for it to appear on the screen at the moment, and it was a 123.048. Marcus Armand was a 123.563. So, as the graphic showed, he is circulating quicker than the leader, but has the small issue of 25 other cars in front of him to try and catch up with Marcus Armand. And with 7.5 minutes remaining, Armand looking very much in control. Masters looks to have dropped back a little from Flint Schering, but Theo Overhaus in 4th place, now starting to come under attack from Alex Tauscher, the championship leader, launching his assault on the early season championship leader. Remember, Theo Overhaus won the opening 2 races of the season. The first 2, the only 2 ever wins for ID Racing, Irish Doors team, great bunch of people, and they were over the moon to have got back-to-back wins at Imola, their first 2 ever wins in this series. And since then, Theo Overhaus has been very much in the championship hunt, but is yet to stand on the top step again. He's had a couple of 2nd places and a 3rd place since then. At the moment, 4th place is looking a little bit under threat from the championship leader, Alex Tauscher, in the number 13 car. The lowest he has finished this year has been 4th place. He got a 4th at the Red Bull Ring and a 4th at Spa-Francorchamps. Apart from that, he's finished on the podium in every single race. So, 5th place is probably below what his expectations were when he got out of bed this morning. And if he can get past Theo Overhaus, 4th would continue to be his lowest score of the season. Right, well, we've got another couple of false starts that are reported to the stewards. That's Gus Burton and Nick Ho, but both of them quite a long way back, although Nick Ho in 14th place, so he is in a point-scoring position. Gus Burton is in 18th place, so out of the points at the moment. There's the leader at the top of the picture. We are looking at the fight for 4th place. At the moment, Theo Overhaus holding on to that position. The Porsche Junior from last year has been in many of the German series for several years and has been in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland for the last few years. This is his 57th race in this series. Alex Tauscher, who is monstering him all the way in his 73rd win, 73rd race of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, looking for his 4th win, and he putting the pressure on to Theo Overhaus. There's Sam Yongyan, he's our rookie leader. Mathieu Ferreira behind him. 2nd in the rookies is Caleb Sumich. He's back in 10th place. So as long as Sam can keep it pointing in the right direction, not have any issues, looking pretty solid for a win in the rookies. It would be his 2nd ever win in the rookie race. He won his first rookie race at Imola at the season opener back in April. We're on board with Mathieu Ferreira at the moment, the Team GP elite driver in the number 27 car. He's got Sam Yongyan ahead of him. You can see him adjusting the brake balance as they head out along the pit straight. The drivers constantly adjusting the cars, constantly trying to maximize what they can get out of this really unusual circuit. A circuit that has a fairly short sectors 1 and 2. Sectors 2 only has 2 corners, and then sector 3, which is by far the biggest sector on the circuit, using a large section of the tri-oval, which they're coming on to now, the wide bit of the circuit. And then back down onto the infield again they will come. That is out of turn 6 they are coming at the moment, then towards turn 7. And now Flint Schering, was he allowing his tyres to cool a bit in this temperature? Looking after the tyres and nursing them. But it looks to me like Flint Schering is winding himself up for one last attack on the fellow Porsche Junior in front of him. Marcus Armand, having had a sizable gap at the front, suddenly that has disappeared. It was 0.8 of a second last time across the line. It's now down to just under 0.4 of a second. It's going to be even less than that when they cross the start-finish line this time around, because Flint Schering looks to be on the attack. So he looks to the outside, heading in towards turn 1. Armand trying to keep it cool. keeps that racing line, keeps it tight, picks up the curb just right there, but Schering now putting the pressure on. A little over 3 minutes remaining of this race. Marcus Armand, the driver from Finland, now under so much pressure from the Dutch Porsche Junior behind him, but Keegan Masters senses an opportunity here. 1, 2, 3 running together. Could it be that Keegan Masters is going to get something here out of these two, because they are fighting each other, and as long as they are doing that, is allowing Masters to close in. Now Flint Schering suddenly under threat from Keegan Masters while he's trying to get past Marcus Armand. That's opened the door for Keegan Masters. Now Flint Schering having to defend like mad. That's given Marcus Armand the breathing room. Keegan Masters to the outside, into the corner. The two black cars run side by side. It's Masters on the wide outside. Flint Schering giving him the room on the outside, and then past he goes. So it's Keegan Masters up into second place. Now what can Marcus Armand do to hold off the South African who suddenly got involved in this battle? Will Flint Schering be able to do exactly the same to Masters that Masters did to him while he's challenging for that position, leaves himself vulnerable while they are fighting amongst themselves? Marcus Armand says, so long, I'm out of here. He's trying to move clear of them, but Masters has other plans. To the inside goes Keegan Masters, but he can't slow it down enough. Into turn one they come, side by side. Armand once again breaking clear. Flint Schering back into second place. Great racing here. A wheel on the dirt for Keegan Masters. He's back down to third place. He'd got all the hard work done, but he couldn't slow it down when he was challenging for the lead. So once again, it is Marcus Armand. Let's have a look again into turn one. Masters had it done, but he took too much speed into that turn one. Couldn't slow it down enough. Allowed Marcus Armand through. Flint Schering needed no further invitation and came sailing through as well. Brilliant racing here. Good, clean racing in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Marcus Armand leads the way once again, and with just a minute of timed racing remaining, can Keegan Masters do anything about what is in front of him? Because at the moment, Flint Schering is back in touch with Marcus Armand, but now Masters back through on the inside. The two cars running side by side. Masters is going to do it all again on the wide outside. Out of turn 12 they come, out along the pit straight it will be. This time Masters will have the outside line as they head towards turn one. Now Schering and Masters run side by side. That releases Marcus Armand once again. Schering with a nose in front. Masters is going to try the late braking. It's a sandwich into turn one. Flint Schering comes out on top. Keegan Masters into second. The race leader relegated 2 places in one corner. Marcus Armand down to third place. So Flint Schering is the new race leader with 10 seconds of timed racing remaining. Keegan Masters next. Oh, that's allowed Theo Overhaus and Alex Tauscher to join the back of the queue, but they're not really close enough to challenge at the moment. Flint Schering leading the way. What spectacular racing. I thought when they went 3 abreast that they weren't all going to come out. They did somehow. Flint Schering with a very late break into that turn one. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he took the lead of the race. All credit to these drivers for keeping it all together, keeping it pointing in the right direction. Brilliant stuff. A great challenge for the lead, and it's come out in the favour of Flint Schering at the moment. We're going to be looking at replays of this for so long. How did they survive? But they did. And Flint Schering late on the brakes. The team at Proton Competition can barely believe what they are seeing. Their drivers, Marcus Armand and Keegan Masters, both of course in the same team. But now we're on to the last lap of a sensational race here to start part 2 of this 2026 season. Flint Schering looks to have got the job done. He's opened the gap on Keegan Masters. Marcus Armand now a distant third, falling into the clutches of Theo Overhaus, but maybe time has run out for Overhaus to challenge for a podium position. Championship leader Alex Tauscher in 5th place will be disappointed to earn his lowest score of the season if he can't move forwards from here in the closing stages of this final lap. At the moment though, Flint Schering Has he got it under control? Has he? Is it possible that Keegan Masters has got anything else up his sleeve? He's not done yet, is he? Flint Schuring and Keegan Masters. Masters with incredible pace in the number 3 car. The man in black shadowing down the Porsche Junior in front, the Porsche Junior behind. But I think Flint Schuring might have it under control. They're currently in towards turn 10, just a couple of corners remaining now, but Masters was never going to give up, was he? Into the last couple of corners, into turns 11 and 12, onto the tri-oval for the very last time, and it is going to be a sensational 5th win of the season for Flint Schuring. But what a drive from Keegan Masters and Marcus Armand. Brilliant racing. Theo Overhouse in 4th place. Championship leader Alex Tauscher maintains his championship lead. While all that was going on, Sam Yongyan, 6th place for him. A win in the rookies ahead of Mathieu Ferreira. A good job from Joe Warhurst in 8th and Dirk Schuten in 9th. Caleb Sumich 2nd in the rookies and 10th overall. 3rd in the rookies with Dylan Yip with a 12th place. In 11th, overall was Gianluca Tucharoglu. We didn't even look at the Pro-Ams, I'm afraid, because there was so much going on everywhere else. But Søren Spreng won for the Pro-Ams, 23rd overall. Mikael Esman was 2nd in the Pro-Ams. Then Chester Kiefer, 25th overall, in between Esman and Ahmed Al-Shahab, who was in 26th overall. But what a sensational race. And absolute hats off to these drivers, because everybody survived. Nobody was left pointing in the wrong direction. There was no damage. It was spectacular racing. What a way to start the German leg, the second half of the season. Flint Schuring taking the win ahead of Keegan Masters, Marcus Armand, Theo Overhouse, Alex Tauscher in 5th, and Sam Yongyan, his 2nd ever win in the rookies, in 6th place overhaul, ahead of Mathieu Ferreira and Joe Warhurst rounding out the top 8. And then it'll be Dirk Schuten who will be next, ahead of Caleb Sumich. So a good job from Caleb Sumich as well. So that equals his best ever finish. Sam Yongyan, 5th place has been his best finish so far, so he hasn't quite beaten that, but certainly 6th place, a great job there as we see the rest of the finishers scrolling through. And they're just confirmed Søren Spreng and Mikael Esman resuming their battle in the Pro-Ams, and that will allow Søren Spreng to open up his lead in the Pro-Am Championship. I'm just looking at the rookies at the moment. So in the rookies, in position, so you're going to be counting there, couldn't you? 8th place for Chester Kiefer and a win in the rookies to Sam Yongyan. So by my calculations, that means that Sam Yongyan closes in to within 7 points of Chester Kiefer in the rookie championship. In the overall championship, that pass on Marcus Armand and Keegan Masters may well prove to be significant when all is said and done at the end of the season, because Flint Schuring does jump to the top of the championship with that win. So the points from that pass move him to the top of the championship, and he relieves Alex Tauscher of the championship lead by just 1 point. That move was absolutely everything, and a time penalty has been issued. A 3-second time penalty has been issued to Flint Schuring. So, Flint Schuring has received a time penalty for incorrect overtaking. That takes the win to Keegan Masters. Keegan Masters has been awarded the win after a 3-second time penalty. Demotes Flint Schuring down to 3rd place. The signs are swapped. The stewards have decided that Flint's move into turn 1, where they went 3 abreast, was an incorrect move. And so, shock update. Keegan Masters is the race winner. Marcus Armand is promoted to 2nd place. Wow, A final sting in the tail of what was a sensational race. And Flint Schuring is demoted from the top step of the podium. I should think there'll be discussions about that will go on long into the night. But the South African, the man in black, Keegan Masters, is going to take maximum points. I'm going to have to redo the calculations now. So it'll be 25 points for Keegan Masters. The third place for Flint Schuring will give him 16 points. So Alex Tauscher with a fifth place. So according to my calculations, Tauscher remains at the top of the points by 8 points ahead of Flint Schuring. With Schuring demoted down to that third place. Did not see that coming. It was a fairly controversial move into turn one. Flint was quite late on the brakes into that left-hander, and the stewards decided that that was not a legal move, and maybe deciding he'd given the squeeze a little bit too much to the two cars in front of him, or alongside him at that point, and awarding him with that 3-second time penalty. So the pole sitter eventually with that third place. So for Keegan Masters, it is a first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He's had 3 second places. He's had a third place. The 2 times champion of Porsche Carrera Cup Italia is now a race winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, moves himself to within 18 points of the championship lead, and with the pace that he was showing in the latter part of that race, will be challenging those drivers ahead of him in the championship. Alex Tauscher, there's confirmation, has that 8-point lead over Flint Schuring. But the best bit of all is we get to do it all again tomorrow. It will be payback time, I have no doubt, because Flint Schuring will be starting from pole position tomorrow for the second race of the weekend. But Keegan Masters takes his first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And there is Flint Schuring, and he'll be disappointed by that. By my reckoning, good, hard racing. Our race directors and race stewards are very, very experienced. We have Lucas Stegner, who is the race director. He is assisted by the 2005 champion of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, Christian Menzel, also Christoph Maischak, as well as an advisor. A lot of experience there, and they know what's fair. They know what the drivers are thinking. They know what they can and cannot get away with. And the team at Schumacher CLRT, third place, Combe Ledegaard, advising Flint Schuring there as well. And it was this moment here. So Schuring went to the inside, and I expect they believe he was quite late on the brakes here. Marcus Armand, Masters on the outside. They all survived, but they decided that Schuring had done an incorrect move. Getting 3 abreast through that corner is a fairly rare feat at the best of times for everybody to survive. But Schuring was going to pick up the penalty, and it was eventually going to be a third place. Marcus Armand, second place for the number 99 car. That second win still eluding him. He did so much, led so many of the laps, but in the end, it was going to be a first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland from the man in black from South Africa, Keegan Masters. So in the heat of the sunshine here at the Lausitzring, what an entertaining race that was. I'm going to need to look at the replays of that. I dare say that all the various chat streams that follow a lot of the online viewing of this race will be alive with opinion and controversy. But the stewards have made their decision, and Flint Schuring will be the first onto the podium. I don't expect there to be very much in the way of smiles and celebrations, because I feel, just from his body language, he doesn't feel as though that was a fair penalty. the 3 seconds that were applied. But onto the podium he will go. He is in such a strong car, in such a strong position. And in his head, tomorrow will be payback time. But Marcus Armand, the second of the Porsche Juniors, alongside Flint Schuring, and second step of the podium.
Und dann wollen wir noch unseren Sieger aufs Podest bitten. Macht mal kräftig Applaus.
But a first ever win in this series from the man from South Africa. Keegan Masters heads to the top step of the podium. His 11th start in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
Das Podium noch, indem wir einen Vertreter
And now,
für das siegreiche Team mit aufs Podest holen für Proton.
from Proton Competition,
Chefmechaniker Michael Heine.
Michael Heine, the race mechanic, will head onto the podium to receive a trophy on behalf of the team.
Da haben wir sie alle beisammen. Also hören wir nun in Ehren für
And
den
now,
siegreichen Fahrer.
it's going to be, for the first time, the South African national anthem. I will have to ask my German colleague, Burkhard Bechtel, but I believe that's the first time we've heard the South African national anthem on the podium for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. There's a familiar face, Bastian Boos, celebrating his 23rd birthday today. Happy birthday, Bastian. He's going to be taking part in DTM later on today, but he presents the trophy for third place to Flint Schuring. Bastian, of course, the 2023 Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup champion, the 2023 Porsche Junior. It's all about the 23s with him, isn't it? It's Thorsten Rückert who presents the trophy to Marcus Armand, who doesn't look overly delighted with second place either. I think we're going to see some big smiles here, though, as Bastian Boos presents the #1 trophy to the man who stands on the top step of the podium. And it's about time, he says, because Keegan Masters is a winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And then Thorsten Rückert, the project manager of Customer Sport Porsche, presents the team trophy as well. The Proton competition crew did their homework, didn't they? 2 of their cars on the podium, first and second. And in the glorious sunshine here, will the celebrations be a little bit muted from some of the drivers? Because Flint Schuring, I think, will be a little bit sore about that. But he's going to spray the champagne anyway, which is great to see. And what was a thoroughly entertaining race from Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Join us tomorrow for race 2 of the weekend at the Lausitzring.
ganz großes Kino.
There's a lot more still to come here.